All right, hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Larry, and today we're back for another hardware review, checking out an in-home smart air filter, the Purelle Airversa air filter, which is a decent-sized air filter, as I'm sure you can tell by the fact that it's literally the size of my torso, but it's not the largest one that I've encountered when using these in my own home. So it's a nice, decently sized, portable size, and I can, with only one hand, hold it up pretty well. It's a light model. It's got a filter on both sides, and it's got a handy-dandy interface here that's a touchscreen right on the top, and it also has the ability to be completely controlled using the Apple Smart Home, using things like the Apple HomePod, so that you can connect it wirelessly and use it as a part of your smart home setup. And it also has some exclusive features that can only be used using their app SleekPoint on your home setup in order to control this remotely. So we're going to check this out here today. I'm going to show you how the interface works, what all the features are, do a little bit of an unboxing, and also, I don't know if you can hear this right now or not, this is actually on and running. It's currently on automatic, so it's detecting if there's particulates in the air and filtering them out as I talk to you. And it's currently running, and I'll bet you can't hear that at all in the microphone. And it's literally right up there against the microphone. So it's also very quiet as well. So let's pop in, check out the unboxing, and we will go from there. And then I'll show you how all of the interface stuff works. All right, so jumping over to the unboxing, the air filter comes in a box that's only slightly larger than the actual unit itself. It comes well packaged so it won't get damaged in transit. And it shows you on the side that it's good at filtering everything with its 3-stage H13 Hepa filter, which there's actually 2 of them inside the unit, one on either side, that are easy to replace. And then its key features are it works well with the Apple HomeKit. It's got exclusive smart controls. It's got a touch-enabled control panel. It does things like it has a nighttime mode, a child lock, filter replacement indicator, auto mode. The sleep mode's actually really nice. You can turn off the lights so it doesn't keep you up at night. And you can also set a timer and all of that good stuff. And it comes with a handy-dandy manual to help you set up and use all the different features, a power cable, and then inside is protective foam. And then the entirety of the unit itself is right there. And again, it's very light. Like, you can pick this up, your grandma can pick this up, the dog, the chihuahua in the corner can probably also pick this unit up and move it if you need to. And it's got a pretty simple, sleek design. It's just white. It's a kind of like rounded, rectangular shape. And then on the top, in the middle of the exhaust fan, is the touchscreen itself. And there you see it. It's the Airversa. And on the back, that little QR code, don't remove that QR code. That's what you need in order to pair it with your Apple Smart Home. So make sure that stays attached. And then in the back is the actual plug for the cable. And then you can see on the top there is that smart touchscreen. And then on the bottom is the little quick flip switch that you need in order to open it in order to swap out the filters. And it's a little snug. You will have to use your hands to remove it because you want to have a good solid contact so that air doesn't leak in and defeat the whole purpose of the air filter. But I'll show you how that gets replaced in the actual usage video here in a moment. So now let's take a look at the actual unit while it's set up and currently running and in use inside of my kitchen. So the unit starts out, you just press the button, it's very responsive, and it starts out in automatic mode where it detects the count of particulates in the air so that it knows how fast to run the fans. And the other thing that's on is the actual connected pairing mode to tell you that it's currently connected to my Apple Home setup. The other icons are things like the currently grayed out air filter replacer, child lock, followed by the fan speed, so you can manually pick what the fan speed is if you want it to have like a nicer, refreshing smell in the house despite what the automatic sensor is telling it. And then, of course, you can put it back to automatic mode whenever you want with the little A at the very top of the screen, and it's detecting with a little laser on the input how many particulates are currently floating around in the air. And something that it actually tracks on the app that comes with it, Sleek Point, is the amount of particulates over time. You can also set a timer so that this will run for as many hours as you want. I was playing around with setting it up to run for 10 hours straight before shutting off, and it worked very nicely. And then, of course, the nighttime mode, so that it turns off all of the lights on the touchscreen unless you press it to help you sleep at night, so that like a giant glowing green ring isn't distracting you and making it hard to fall asleep. Then, of course, you can just turn that off whenever you want, and then with another quick press, you can turn the entire unit off that way. Now, the other thing I wanted to show is you can really quickly and easily swap out the air filters that this thing comes with. You can buy a pair of these for between 15 and 48 bucks, depending on if you get them on Amazon or directly from them. And it comes with two of them in the underside. They go on either side with the little pull tabs facing towards the middle. And outside of needing to use my hand to push them back in because they're a little bit snug, it's relatively easy just to pop this open, one-handed, pull them out, and replace them when they need to be replaced. And filters like this tend to last between 6 months to 8 months. It really just depends on how much stuff they're picking up. Then you pop them back in, turn it back on, and you're back off to the races. It's a relatively easy setup. Now, the next thing that we've got is the app that comes with the device. It's actually Sleek Point. I believe it's used to pair various different devices to your Apple Home network. And this allows you to pair, using the QR code on the back of the unit, the actual app to your air filter so that you can do things like turn it on and off directly from the app. I'm just showing you here how responsive it is. It almost instantaneously turns on and off, running over my home network. And then you have literally all of the same controls that you had on the top of the unit, with additional layers of settings and features to help you control, very fine-tuned, how fast the fan speed is, how well like the child lock you can turn on so that only you with the app or somebody who presses and holds on the unit can play around with it. That way you don't have to worry about pets or kids changing your settings on you or turning the unit on or off by mistake. You can turn on and off the nighttime with just a quick toggle, and it even tells you the current percentage of filter that you have left before it recommends you change the filter. I'm guessing that it detects that based upon how much airflow is going through the filters. That would tell it when it's clogged. And like I was saying before, it also allows you to detect when there's a higher level of particulates currently in the air, and it goes up to a month at a time as it's currently constantly tracking your device's activity. Now, this is interesting because it actually showed when there were big gusts of wind outside my house and illustrating when there was a lot of dust in the air. You can also update the firmware through this app. You can open up the settings here and see a cross-section of all of the different settings and what they are currently set at, and it'll also help you go to their website and either order a filter directly from them or find another spot in order to pick one up. They're pretty available, and I believe you can also get them on places like Amazon. And they like I said before, they run between 20 and 50 bucks, depending on if they're on sale or if you get them directly through the company that manufactures this. And then, of course, if you need to, you can also update this device's firmware and software through this app, which means that unlike a lot of other filters that once you get them, you set them up in your house and let them run, if there's something weird with this, they actually do updates so that things can get updated and fixed and it doesn't have a weird glitch in the long term. Normally, I would be kind of skeptical when using a device like this that ties into a smart home system, because for a lot of devices, you just need to turn them on and that's it. But I do like the added capability of knowing what the filter replacement times are inside of this device, knowing what things like weather and other things going on in my house might be affecting the amount of stuff in the air, like dust, pollen, particulates, all that stuff, which this tracks through the app, was actually fairly useful. And being able to randomly be somewhere else in my house and be like, oh, I want to turn the unit on or turn it up so it, starts pulling in more air because I'm about to leave the door open for a moment while I move something into the house. or out of the house so that there isn't a lot of dust and pollen in the house when I'm done and I want to relax and watch TV. It was actually quite useful. So this is a nice air cleaner, and it'll run you around $200, which for a smart, like, network compatible device that has a HEPA filter built into it that you can control with like a tablet or a smartphone, that's about on par. I've seen that from other companies that have an area that this thing covers of about the same amount of space. So check it out for yourselves. I'll put the link in the video description below. I've been your host, Larry Chupacabra, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.